All right, everyone. So another member of the Bloodline could be making a major impact on WWE. So this is WWE legend Umaga's son. Booker T talked about him on a podcast. He said this, Zilla Fatu, he's going to be prime for the WWE when he gets there. I just talked to him about WWE and making that move. One thing about his kid, he's not in a rush or anything to make it. But trust me, when he makes it, he's going to make the biggest impact that you have seen from any young star to come along in this business, perhaps in the last 30 years. So that's a pretty high praise for Zilla Fatu. And you got to figure what better time to have him come into the WWE than over the next few years when you have this big ongoing bloodline storyline. So he's easily fit into that. And, we see what's going on with Jacob Fatu as he just turned into a star overnight as soon as he entered WWE. So hopefully, you want to make sure he's ready for it and you don't want to kind of step on the toes of anybody else and push somebody too soon. But when he's ready and he comes up to WWE, hopefully they can put the right storylines in place and all of that kind of stuff so that it's a big success because I would love to see the Bloodline storyline continue. We're at kind of an impasse right now. We don't know where it's heading next, but Zilla Fatu, we'll be looking out for him to join WWE. And according to Booker T, this guy can be pretty big time. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. All right, everyone. So these two signees are getting high praise backstage. This is from an article from Wrestle Talk. Today, WWE held a town hall meeting for employees, which featured the announcement of the news that Triple H will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. However, there are some other noteworthy news that came out of the meeting as well. As reported by PW Insider, WWE President Nick Khan specifically confirmed the signing of Grace and spoke about how WWE has high hopes for her and what she can bring to the company. Also, the aforementioned Penta was discussed, with WWE reportedly seeing something truly special in him and touting his social media engagement numbers. So they're just adding talent on talent on talent. And this is important because you have that mid card that, in order to have a really great era in WWE, that mid card needs to be stacked. And so, at the very least, from Jordan Grace and from Penta, you want to see them be really high quality mid card wrestlers. And then, of course, you want to see them move up to the main event scene at some point. But even right off the jump, you're expecting them to be able to deliver in that mid card area. And I think they just got to keep doing this because you always think, oh, there's so much talent until you kind of are running out of talent and running out of new, fresh ideas and people to put other people against, and you're redoing storylines again. The more talent, the better, and certainly at this point, there is a lot of talent in WWE. So I understand that, it's almost unfair in a way because you have guys that where you're like, man, they have every reason to want to be champion right now. But when you have all of these people vying for championships, not everybody can have a belt and not everyone can have the top belts. So you don't know what to do. But someone like Jordan Grace and Penta are perfect additions because the upside is maybe they'll be main eventers one day. But the kind of in the middle option is, hey, they're really good mid carders who deliver good matches, and they're in between the first segment and that main event segment, and that's a really important time because people could be tuning out if those matches aren't good. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, everyone. So the Wyatt Six have not been on TV since their return to SmackDown. We now know why. This is from Wrestle Talk. A new report from Fightful Select states that the reason the Wyatts haven't been on TV since their return to SmackDown is due to an injury-related reason. There were no further details on who specifically may be injured or what the actual injury is. During their absence, the group has been mentioned on TV as their current storyline of The Miz trying to find some new backup after he was also moved to SmackDown to help protect him from the Wyatts who were targeting him on Raw. Miz thought he found some allies in Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, but they were drafted to Raw straight after, and Andrade outright rejected Miz's offer of an alliance this past Friday. So look, the Wyatt Six are a really cool idea. I'm hoping that this is something that remains, but I do think WWE really has to turn this thing up to like 100. You got to really embrace what they're bringing and give them that push that they deserve, because it just seems like the audience, they're bought in, then they're not bought in, they're bought in, then they're not bought in. We need them bought into the Wyatt Six because I kind of like it's something new, it's something fresh, it's different than anything else. There's no characters right now like the Wyatt Six anywhere on WWE TV, but to this point, they just, I thought the stuff with Miz was great. The stuff with the Final Testament was great, but they got to find a way now, to really give this thing a push and to get the fans even further behind them. And this injury, it's obviously a setback, but you almost get a chance to reintroduce them now, right? You get a chance to, okay, there was this break, they removed the SmackDown, now we're going to reintroduce the Wyatt Six and give them a push. And that doesn't mean have them win at being the main event of WrestleMania or something like that, but just like have it when they come out, people are like, holy crap, the Wyatt Six are here. Because this has been a problem since this whole thing was announced. People thought the announcement was too long, before they were even on TV. So there's a lot of stuff that we got to look out for. I hope WWE is able to deliver on it. So thank you all for watching, everyone. So Paul Heyman talked about the challenges of working with The Rock, given his schedule and all of that other stuff. This is what he said to the New York Post. There is a leadership by example to be set by someone who's on the board of directors, much like Dwayne's responsibilities as just a star of a movie are far different than when he's one of the executive producers of the movie as well. So he's not just a talent, he's a member of the board of directors, and so there is a process by which creative has to flow seamlessly here, and he has to be part of that seamless flow. There's a balancing act, and I think he and everyone involved in a potential Rock creative are finding that balance. So this is pretty wise by the wise man, right? He's showing us why there's problems so far with a lot of the Rock storytelling in WWE. We loved what happened at WrestleMania, but what happened before WrestleMania? They wanted to change it. The Rock wanted to change it, and fans were like, well, you already built us to this. This is what we want. It ended up happening. But then things as of late have got a little bit even weirder because you had him beating up Cody Rhodes. You had him giving Cody Rhodes something on, Raw. Remember, that was it the Raw after WrestleMania? You had that. And then you had him returning for basically no reason. And then you had him showing up on the Netflix premiere. Everybody thought, oh, potentially he attacks Roman Reigns and we get that feud going in two bloodlines. That didn't happen. He actually was, very nice to Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, so that didn't add up. So Paul Heyman's talking about this is they're still trying to find that balance of someone who has such a busy schedule, who's also on the board of directors. So it's like a lot of weird things moving at once, and it's tough to make that flow. And it's to me, it's been showing. It's not that The Rock hasn't been great for WWE TV. He's been awesome. Doesn't matter what storyline, when he's on TV, it's great. It's just that it hasn't all connected. I really wanted to see it. I was hoping this happened. I thought for sure it was going to happen, and it hasn't happened yet. I thought for sure when Solo lost, they were just setting it up for The Rock to appear as the head of that second bloodline. And then you have those two feuding all the way into WrestleMania. I thought for sure that's what they were going to do. But, that didn't happen. It could still happen, but it would be a little bit weirder to do now after everything we've seen. But at the end of the day, we'll just have to stay tuned. And, I love when The Rock's on TV. Never going to complain about that. I just hope they can find this kind of balance to tell the right stories and to get his schedule to line up so that, we don't have this kind of back and forth all the time. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Paul. I know I'm sexy. I've got the moves.
You can roll with rock or you can radio edit.
HBK and The Undertaker have made an executive decision here today.
It's way past overdue.
Though you are in the Hall of Fame as a member of D-Generation X, it is only fitting that the cerebral assassin, the Game, Triple H, at WrestleMania 41, take his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So from a guy that usually has something to say about everything, I'm speechless. I'm going to kill Nick when we leave here. If you see somebody flying off of the roof, just ignore it.
You deserve it.
I don't know what else to say. Just thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Paul.
This was an awesome moment, and regardless of if you love WWE right now or don't like it, don't like direction of this, direction of that, nobody can deny what Triple H has done in terms of weathering a pretty rough storm and brought WWE out of that storm into what I think is, I'm personally biased to it. I don't think it's the Attitude Era, but it's as good as an era as I can remember, really. As good as an era from since the Attitude Era for sure. It really is doing a very good job. Now they got to continue it, but he deserves every moment of this. And he wasn't going to give it to himself, so they had to do it. And having Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker, and then his wife come out and give him that honor, it's just really. I thought it was a special video. I think anybody that loved the Attitude Era watching him get his, kudos for everything he's done too. Because, Triple H is one of those guys who, you think about all the great stars, Triple H, now that he's in charge of actually creative and all this other stuff, like, he's got to be up there in terms of impact on WWE as one of the greats over the past 2-3 decades. Even just looking at his in-ring career, he could do that. But you factor in now everything outside of the ring and how he's kind of delivered for WWE in that way, man, it's something special. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.